Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Please share, and share. We had the show yesterday, but there was an internet interruption, so the show had to cut. So I'm just doing the show all over because the show was cut and I had to just end the show. So today, what we're talking yesterday was about how La Republic have gone against all the international laws and they have not been punished. So I'm trying to bring this because it is high time for sanctions to start coming. The United Nations, the AU, the EU, all the international organizations have to start putting for BS sanctions. And ICC, which is in charge of this type of crimes against humanity, war crimes, have to start putting in place a mechanism for BS arrest because it is out of hand, it is gone out of hand. And we are seeing this for the past 7 years, how our people have been killed, our people have been molested, our people have been tortured, and this has been for the past 7 years as we speak. But today I want to bring this because our people need to know that they have a just fight, they have a right to fight for their freedom, they have a right to fight for their country, they have a right to fight for their sovereignty. Okay, it is a law in the international organization, the United Nations, that self-defense is a human right. You need that defense to defend your country. It's a patriotic right. So nobody should tell you anything contrary to that. Today there are many countries that are being in this same situation. They are still fighting for their own right. They are still fighting for their sovereignty. They are fighting for their identity. So nobody should tell you anything contrary. Okay. So we are going to be talking about those issues that we have seen in the past 7 years that needs international attention, especially when it comes to international law and treaties of countries. Okay, when you sign a treaty or anything pertaining to international law, you must stick to that. Okay, you must stick to that. We have seen La Republic gone against international laws, going against everything in international law. So we are saying that La Republic need to understand that they are not above the law. Okay, they are not above the law. The earlier they understand that international law hold people accountable, the better. And they should just understand that Ambazonians have the right to their country, have a right to live. Ambazonians have a right to their territory. They have right to their territorial integrity. They have right everything that belongs to them. So today I want to bring you all the things that the atrocities, the international law, the international norms, the Geneva Convention that La Republique military and the government has broken in Ambazonia, and it's high time the international community hold them accountable. Okay, 7 years is enough. 7 years is enough. 7 years of all the atrocities, all the international norms that has been broken by La Republique and its occupying military. We are coming today to tell you that even though we have sent a letter to ICC, the International Court of the International Criminal Court, we are still hoping that Biya will be held, and all the other ministers, those people who are still occupying Ambazonia illegally, they are with their occupying force. They are occupying Amazonia, and a sovereign country, and a country that got its independence in 1961 and was restored in 2017. They are still in our country, and it is against international law for you to occupy another country. Number one, when Biya declared war, declaration of war is a crime, especially when you declare war on an entity, on a people who are identified, on a sovereign country. Biya declared war on the people of Ambazonia. He openly said that he has tried to assimilate us. He has tried to enslave us. He has tried, but he has not worked. So the only option he has is to declare war on the people of Ambazonia. This is the word coming from a president that has ruled Cameroon for 41 years in an ironclad fist. Okay, the president that has ruled Cameroon for 41 years. But what did you understand about declaration of war in 2017 when he declared war on the people of Ambazonia? Biya declared war on the people of Ambazonia. Why? He said his 4 soldiers has been killed in Manfe. He has a right to protect the Cameroon territorial integrity and everything. Okay, but we are telling those who don't understand that Cameroon and Ambazonia, southern Cameroon, came together in a federal system, and the Aijo regime cancelled the federal system. So what happened? We are also out of the federal system. We are no more part of the federal system. So they cannot assimilate us in terms of that they went back to their name, La République du Cameroun, at independence, right? So you cannot come out of a federal system, then you take your name, then you don't want the other people who came with you to take their own name that they had at their own independence. So it doesn't work like that, right? Yes. So all this declaration of war for the past 7 years, we have seen all sorts of scorched-earth policy. We have seen crimes against humanity. We have seen restriction. We have seen crackdown. Okay, we have seen all sorts of things that the Biya regime has done to our people. But today, I want to make our people understand that you have the right to live. You have the rights. That's what they put, the human rights. Okay, those rights are many rights. They are not just one right. Okay, right to live, right to speak, right, freedom of expression, right to. There are so many rights in the International Human Rights Declaration. The Geneva Convention of War is what I want to talk today. The Geneva Convention was promulgated into law in 1949. All the countries, members of the United Nations, signed this accord because it was done because they wanted to prevent genocide to happen. Okay, mass killing. Okay, that's why they put one of those convention policy there, which is the generally called Geneva Convention. But that convention had its own clauses that all the signatory countries have to respect. Okay, the Geneva Convention has as one of its clause to not, in time of war, civilians are out of, okay, civilians and even medical practitioners, medical like Red Cross or Doctors Without Borders, anything dealing with medical should be out of target. But does La Republic respect that? No. La Republic has gone against everything. The military, they have sent, imagine they have sent away Médecins Sans Frontières, the Doctors Without Borders. They don't accept Red Cross. Red Cross has tried to come and help the wounded. Okay. And with that, you see, even the wounded soldiers are supposed to be treated, right? The La Republic does not treat wounded soldiers. They will take you, go into the hospitals. The hospital should be out of bound for any military attack. Okay, we of recent year the arrest of General Efang in a bingo hospital, and they went and even arrested some of the doctors who had in the hospital. Then they arrested the owner of the bingo annex. But is that just? It's not just. International law of war specify that clause. Any hospitals, medical practitioners, they're out of bound as a target. You should not even go to the hospital that you want to go and arrest somebody. It is out of, it is against the Geneva Convention. Okay, but let's talk about the massacre and the genocide that has been going on in Ambazonia. From 2016, more than 50,000 of our people have died. More than 50,000 as we speak. But the Cameroon military still continue to kill our people. Innocent civilians have been targeted. Homes, more than 600 homes have been set ablaze. Villages burned down. Farmers and their agricultural products burned down. These are things that have not been investigated. And with someone like a dictator, like Paul Biya, he doesn't care about international law. He doesn't care about the Geneva Convention. He doesn't care about that. But, I mean, it's high time the international community start putting sanctions. Okay? What is the EU doing? What is the AU doing? What is the United Nations doing? You said you people brought up the Geneva Convention so that genocide should be prevented, right? The Geneva Convention so that in times of war, civilians should be out of target. But think of it. How many of our Ambazonian civilians have been killed by Cameroon military? Okay. Does that sound well in those who signed that Geneva Convention? When will the La Republic government be held accountable? When? Because this is gone out of hand, and it has been for 7 good years. Our people have been massacred from Penin to Santa, from Gabu to Kumba, from Kumba, Ekona massacre. Of recent, we had the Manfe massacre. These are things that happen in our eyes, and the international community is watching. When we did sanction the government of Cameroon for occupying Ambazonia, for illegally occupying Ambazonia, when will that happen? Because you cannot go to somebody's country, occupy it, committing crimes, and nobody is sanctioning you. The international law specifies that clause. Okay. The United Nations even specify that clause of sovereignty. Okay. Respecting boundaries at independence. Once you have that, once you are a signatory of that, you have to respect it. Every country must respect their boundaries at independence. La Republic came to Ambazonia, occupy Ambazonia in 2016, declared a war in 2017, brought their military, trucks and trucks and trucks of military were shipped into Ambazonia. As we speak, there are more than how many hundred thousands of our people displaced. Thousands of our people are in jail now, illegally incarcerated. These are all against human rights. Scotch Ed policy is against the Geneva Convention. Extortion is against Geneva Convention. Detention, illegal detention, is against Geneva Convention. Kidnapping is against Geneva Convention. These are all things that are happening as we speak in the eyes of the international community. So when is the international community going to come to terms that enough is enough in Ambazonia? We need to intervene in Ambazonia. When is the international community going to come? Because we can't sit like this and see a dictator killing people, massacring, mass murdering people, sending their military to extort the local population. They kidnap and they ask for ransom. We have heard all kinds of stories. And if the international community think that they will keep watching, for how long are they going to keep watching our people die? The people of Ambazonia are a recognized people. We have our sovereignty. We had our independence. 64 countries that voted our independence are still there. The countries are still there. They can prove it because they voted for the independence of Southern Cameroon. We are not an illegal country. We are not fighting to take somebody's territory. We are not. We are defending our land, and the United Nations human right. The United Nations specify that self-defense is a human right. One of those human rights of all the human rights. Self-defense is one of them, and we have that right to defend ourselves, as any other country has the right to defend themselves. Today, I want to talk about these things because they are happening in our eyes, and nobody is taking action. I want to first thank the United States of America for giving some sanctions to La République du Cameroon. They gave visa ban. We all remember visa ban. Most of those La République ministers cannot come to America because of the crimes they engineered, the genocide they engineered, the war crimes they have caused, they have committed in Ambazonia. Okay, someone like Atanganji, who formed his militia at Atanganji boys, they are still killing today. And when they commit crimes, people think that is the Ambazonian restoration fighters doing it. We understand the limits of this our freedom fighters who are defending their land. Anything that happened in Ambazonia is protected by international law. Every Ambazonian should know that international law protects you for defending your homeland. That one should be clear, because we did not cross Mongo, we did not cross Matazem, we did not cross somebody to go to somebody's land. We did not cross to go to La Republique to kill anybody or to commit crimes there. No, they come to our land, commit all the crimes in our land. So they will be held accountable. They should be held accountable. And any crime they commit in our land, they are their cause, because you cannot go to somebody's house and attack that person and you expect that person to fold their arms and be watching at you. Okay, but the law stipulates this: non-combatants should not be touched. Civilians, medical practitioners, anything that has to do with all is against Geneva Convention for you to target civilians. Our restoration fighters have been very, very good at that, to respect that clause. Their only target are the military, the men in uniform, police. That is allowed by law, by the law of war. Okay, because those are the people that come with their guns and their heavy machinery to kill our people. Those are genuine targets. But civilians, no. That is why I say all this crime, when you hear a crime on civilian, who went to villages and burn villages? Did you see any Ambazonian restoration fighters go to burn villages? No. Did you see any Ambazonian restoration fighters go to attack hospitals? No. Did you see them burning people houses, burning schools? No. Those are the crimes. When we call crimes against humanity, that is a crime that we are talking about. What has 500 to 600 villages burned to ashes? People's livelihood, lively savings, you burn them like that. You don't even have conscience. When I see people talking about this crisis today, I just laugh at them. They don't know what our people have gone through. We are a country like any other country, protecting their land, protecting their sovereignty. So anything that happens is within our confines of the international law. We are respecting international law. We are respecting our international boundaries. We have the right to self-defend ourselves when somebody comes to your land and try to attack your land. Okay, we have that right. That is what we are doing. We have been doing for the past 7 years. So nobody should come and tell us about international law as if we have first of all, we are in somebody's land. Somebody come and attack you and you say we should respect international law. The person is coming to your land, attacking you, killing your civilians. So what do you expect the Amazonians to do? To fold their arms and watch this terrorist occupier military from Cameroon government who come to Ambazonia to attack the people of Ambazonia? The international law did not state that. The international law says you have the right to defend yourself. You have the right to defend what belongs to you. It's your right. It's your own. It's the people that you protect. You have the right to defend those people. That's international law. It's not about us. Biya is a dictator. He's a dictator. Yes, Biya is a dictator. Biya is a dictator. Yes. So somebody is sending a message. So I'm saying this because the crimes against humanity is one of the worst crimes that even the United States, that's why the United States take action faster than even the United Nations.
You know that the United Nations, because of those crimes committed on the people of Ambazonia, United States has banned Cameroon government officials from coming to the United States. That's what they call visa ban. The Cameroon government also suspended their military support because they were sending some military support where the Cameroon government was using to fight the Boko Haram in the north. They were instead using those materials to fight Ambazonia. American government said no, those people are not terrorists. Those people are not Boko Haram. So please, we are going to withdraw our military support. The Trump administration did that. AGOA, the trade, America trade, Cameroon was taken out of that because of their crimes against humanity in Ambazonia. So we are saying this because you have to know how international law works, because the crimes that Biya has committed, first of all, he first declared an illegal war on the people of Ambazonia. It's illegal for you to declare war on a sovereign people. We are sovereign people. No matter what happened, we are sovereign people. And imagine international law says you should not attack civilians, you should not attack humanitarian workers. Humanitarian workers are those people who come to help during wartime. They come to help the innocent civilian that may be touched during crossfire exchanges. La République have banned humanitarian workers. Médecins Sans Frontières, or the Doctors Without Borders, is there to help. These doctors, people coming from all over the world, medical doctors coming to help with medications, coming to help with some treatments during wartime. La République have sent them away. Red Cross is recognized by the United Nations as part of their body. WHO, World Health Organization, they are coming to help during the wartime. But what happened? The Biya regime sent them away. That's why the military, instead of stop going to hospitals to check people who are being treated in the hospital, they will take them out. You saw how they drag General Efang. It's against the law. It's against international law of war crimes. Those are war crimes. When you commit all these war crimes, you think that you're gonna go free? No. It's just about time. That's why we are bringing this up, so that the international community to start looking at sanctions, economic sanctions, political sanctions, asset sanctions. These are sanctions that we expect the international community to take on La République, so that they should stop these killings going on. Okay, the EU is there. The other parties are there to tell La République. Okay, the multilateral organizations, EU, AU, what are they doing? There are many things that we have to talk about here, because when you attack medical, imagine what happened in Mbingo, right? In Mbingo Hospital, they went inside there, they arrested the doctors, arrested the owner. You cannot do that. It's against the law. Okay, you go inside and get inside and arrest medical people who are helping in times of war. In times of war, what is the international community doing? Listen to this.
The grieving of a family and a community faced with the unbearable image of a mother and her 2 children buried in one coffin. There was not enough money to buy 3. Here in Nigeria, around 5,000 English-speaking Cameroonian refugees took part in the funeral of 8 members of the same family. They are believed to have died of carbon dioxide poisoning. Barnabas's wife is one of the victims. He tells us that most had just arrived in the area of Ikom from Cameroon after fleeing fighting in their villages.
It was because of this problem of Cameroon that most of them, they joined us here. They were just living here with me, the entire family. I'm so sorry that God who brought them to this world actually returned them back.
Not far away, on the other side of the border, the victims' home village is now controlled by Cameroonian soldiers. 8 months ago, Dadi was secessionist stronghold. Today, most locals are gone. The army suspected many of being accomplices of armed separatists.
The village is deserted because the inhabitants are accomplices. If they were innocent, they could have given us information about the secessionist fighters. Now they are gone. We even want them to come back, but they don't want to.
But fighting between the military and separatists continues, and it is too dangerous for refugees in Nigeria to return. 80% of those living in camps like these are women and children. The Aya Foundation is one of the few Cameroonian NGOs offering aid to traumatized people.
The first and second visits were not easy. The gun trauma, the burning of the house is a trauma. That trauma was so fresh in them. You could not even see a gleam of smile. But now you can see around, the children are really smiling and they are happy.
The Anglophone crisis continues to escalate in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Every day, more people arrive in Nigeria having fled violent turmoil. For the most part, their futures remain precarious.
Yeah, that was just that was an excerpt about the atrocities that have been committed by this Cameroon. Okay, so we were talking about those crimes, okay, and it is a responsibility of the ICC. The ICC prosecute war criminals. Okay, they have the right to go into investigation and prosecute war criminals, like Paul Biya and the Paul Biya ministers and all those ministers, the Minister of Defense, Betty Asomo, Atanganji, all these guys who are the chief architect of this war, illegal war. Okay, the ICC go into that and make sure that all these people are prosecuted, because the Geneva Convention of 1949 has its clause very, very well that non-combatants or medical personnel should be kept out of anything. Civilians are part of non-combatants. Okay, so when they kill anybody, they'll say, "Oh, you know, you are Ambazonia, you are Ambazonia." But now, what we saw along the years is that these people kill without any remorse. Okay, we have seen them attacking and killing even the United Nations peacekeepers. When they come, you see these people killing them, and they say they are, you know, okay. But the multilateral organizations like the EU, AU, UN, what should they be doing in this type of scenario? Okay, look at the crimes that have been committed. Genocide should be one of those crimes that the Geneva Convention really specified. To avoid any further genocide, they promulgated that war crime tribunal, where they said war crimes and crimes against humanity should be tried in ICC. Okay, yes, things like murder, ill treatment, slave labor, deportation,
all these killings of hostages and torture and inhumane treatment, these are all things that have happened in Ambazonia. But when will the ICC start her investigation? Don't forget, we wrote a letter to ICC. The interim government wrote a letter to ICC before. We got a response that they have received our letter. But now is what are they doing to make sure that they try all these people who are doing all these crimes against our people? Because when you classify crimes, international crimes, you put them in that clause. La Republique have committed all these crimes that we can talk about. All. We have seen genocide. We have seen, rape. We have seen sexual violence on our people. What have you not seen? Violence on education, violence on anything that you can think about. Our traditional rights have been tampered with. You have seen the burn palaces. Who would do that? Who would go and burn a palace? If not La Republique soldiers going to do that, then they want to attribute it to our restoration fighters or restoration freedom fighters. They don't do that. We know the limit. We know what the Ambazonian freedom fighters can do. We know they are defending their land. They cannot touch their own people. They don't do that because they know their limitation. They know that they are protecting the people of Ambazonia. That's a role. But when you go to a hospital and arrest a patient, for that matter, it doesn't matter what the patient did or what the patient is. A patient. Hospitals, medical, even if it's a small hurt that Red Cross put somewhere to treat innocent civilians, it's out of bound for the military to go there and arrest anybody there. It's against international law of war. You cannot go to a place where nurses or doctors are treating patients. You go and arrest them and take them somewhere. They disappear. We don't even know where somebody like General Efang is. We don't know because he was taken from the hospital. He was still unconscious. But those are crimes. I don't care what a patient did, whether you are a patient or you are whoever. It doesn't matter. Hospitals, medical camps that maybe these multilateral organizations can go and create to treat patients. They treat people who cannot, even pregnant women. You cannot go to the hospital because if a woman cannot go to, because of war, there are many things that happen during war times. These doctors come to help. These are volunteers most of the time. They will come from all over the world. They will join the Red Cross or they will join Doctors Without Borders. These are they will come there to try to help. That is why they are called humanitarian workers. They are humanitarian workers. They are not part of the war. Their job is just to look for people who need help. You go there and send them away. Ask them. Just imagine how barbaric this La Republique military are. When you do that to a people, it means it's part of hate. It's part of ethnic cleansing. Okay? Ethnic cleansing, which is part of this war against humanity. Crimes against humanity. You want to... Anything that La Republique did or is doing or has been doing in Ambazonia is ethnic cleansing. When you go to a village and burn the whole village down, what do you call that? When you go to a village and burn houses, burn people's farmers' crop, that is their livelihood, you burn them down. You rape innocent children. women and children. You arrest all the young boys. You kill mass. You do mass killing. We have seen mass graves of people who have been killed. These are all happening in our own eyes. Now, what are we going to be talking about? Sanctions. When will the international community see that enough is enough of these like public atrocities on the people of Ambazonia, southern Cameroon? When? I was thinking that other countries will follow after the United States gave visa ban to these dictators and people there in Cameroon. We did not see that coming. The US government is the only government that have even given the TPS, the temporary protected status, to refugees, to asylum seekers who come to America because of the war. And that is the thing that we have to understand, that America, the worst crime that America does not like is when the people commit crimes against humanity. They will want to do everything to help, even if the government policy can be different sometimes. But there are many organizations in America that are ready to help the sick, ready to help the needy, ready to help people who are internally displaced. Okay, all these are things that we see when people are being molested, people are being challenged with that crime against humanity. Okay, but if ICC, the work of the ICC is to protect or to prosecute those people who are committing war crimes, okay, but we are not seeing that happening in Ambazonia. When would that time be ripe enough? Those sanctions will help to drag La Republique to the negotiation table. The Cameroon government don't want to go to negotiation. Okay, sanctions are another tool, that these multilateral organizations can use to bring La Republique to negotiation table to end the war. Because as we speak, they are still killing our people. They are still killing our people. Let's listen to this short excerpt.
Now, it's been 7 years into this conflict. Why have Cameroonian authorities failed to resolve it?
This is very interesting. The Cameroonian authorities have failed to resolve the crisis in the English-speaking region to a very large extent. I will start by highlighting some of the things that the government feels they have done to actually address the conflict in the English-speaking regions of Cameroon. In 2019, the President of the Republic did call for a national dialogue to address the conflict. Unfortunately, this dialogue was vowed and marred by so many shortcomings because the parties to the conflict were absent. And looking at the root causes of the conflict, it wasn't addressed. So there were so many flaws to these issues or to this position of the government in addressing the conflict. And again, looking at the root causes of the conflict, the government has completely shifted away from looking at the root causes. We know that for every conflict and for durable peace to be achieved, the root causes of the conflict must be addressed.
Right.
The
now,
government has not made...
Bibian, let's move on to why, in the first place, what do the separatists want, and do civilians support the separatists?
The separatists want an independent state from the Cameroonian government or from the country Cameroon. And using all the atrocities to achieve this is a call for concern. And asking me if all the civilians want cessation is a very difficult question to answer here. But you bear with me that most of the civilians are under fear, are under threat, and a very high risk from the separatist fighters. So it wouldn't be very clear if all the civilians in the English-speaking regions of Cameroon actually stand for cessation, given the fact that most of the actions by the separatist fighters put the population on harm's way. They have little or no choice to make a decision for themselves on the kind of life or what they want for themselves as a people.
So as an advocate, a human rights activist, what role do you want the international community to play, and especially powerful nations like the United States, to end this conflict?
Thank you so much, Esther, for this question. This is a conflict that has taken roots in the last 7 years with a lot of devastating consequences on the civilian population. And the big countries like the United States, we expect more from them, owing to the fact that United States' role in resolving conflict is very, very instrumental and needed. Because the United States has an embassy in Cameroon and they are aware of this conflict, we believe that they can actually call the Cameroonian government in order to resolve or look for every means possible for a ceasefire and to cause the warring parties to a ceasefire. The American government can also rally other international goodwill partners to see how they can mobilize a dialogue, a national dialogue.
Yeah. We just heard the lady there, you know. I know most of these international organization workers don't want to hurt the Cameroon government, so they always say Northwest and Southwest region in Cameroon. Okay, that's what they always say because they are trying to protect their. But we are talking about our people being killed, our people being molested, our people being mistreated. Okay, ill treatment of prisoners of war. You saw how they treated our prisoners of war, and they are still treating them so bad. They take them to the hospitals, and they will be chained in the hospital bed. They will die in the hospital bed. That is the treatment our people are going through. Then going to somebody's country, you know, arresting a whole government of Ambazonia in Nigeria. That is international crime. That is against international law of the refugee. Once a country welcome a refugee, no other country has the right to go and arrest that person because that country is protecting that refugee in that country. Ambazonian leaders that were in Nigeria, some of them were already Nigerian citizens, some of them were asylum seekers. La Republic government did not respect international law of refugee. They went to Nigeria, connived with some corrupt Nigerian government officials. They arrested these guys and took to back to Cameroon. Where have you seen that happen? That they will go and arrest refugees, asylum seekers, who have not committed any crime. Okay, I know the role of the Interpol Interpol is to arrest criminals, right? But Ambazonians, what crime has Ambazonians commit? You think that if in America we committed crime in America, La Republique will not come and arrest us, or America will not arrest people here? You saw about 3 Ambazonians that committed crime in America, right? They were arrested. That is American law. It has nothing to do with Cameroon. If the refugees in Nigeria committed crimes in Nigeria, the Nigerian government has the right to arrest them. They will try them with using the Nigerian law. They have their own law. There's a common law, all right? But La Republique, they don't even understand the international law. They'll go to another country and arrest people there who are seeking asylum. I mean, asylum seekers are protected by that country that they are there. That's why the country is the one giving them papers
documentation. You cannot go there and arrest them. But thank to the to the Nigerian High Court, they went and looked at the file. They saw that these very few officials were corrupted by Cameroon government. They were corrupted, and they had to pass a law, a judgment on all the Naira 10 and other the 49 others that were arrested that were illegally kidnapped from Nigeria and taken to Cameroon. But what happened? The Cameroon government has not respected that, because that's an international law. You went to some other country, arrested their refugee that they are protecting, sent back to Cameroon, and you are trying them in. Then the High Court, the Nigerian High Court said, please, we realize that it was a mistake from some officials to allow you to come and arrest people in Nigeria. Send them back and also compensate them. There was an aspect of compensation. It means that each of these people, the Naira 10, the Republic government was supposed to give them a certain amount of money. First of all, they have to release them, give them a certain amount of money, pay their transport, and send them back to Nigeria. That is the law that the Nigerian High Court passed. The judgment was very clear. But after how many years that Nigerian High Court passed that law, till today we have not seen Cameroon government act anyway. Okay. Another issue that is happening to our people, our prisoners, is that all of them are being tried by a military court. It's against the international law. Civilians have nothing to do with the military court. Nothing to do with military court. The military court is for the military. The military court is for the men in uniform. It has nothing to do with civilian. How do you use military judges, try military people, try civilians? And the worst of all is that they are trying them in the civil law system. Our people are a common law people. They don't understand that kind of law. The common law system gives chances for people to be bailed out. The civil law system keep people in waiting trial. Why do you put people in waiting trial if you can give them bail to come and attend their court? The common law system gives chances for bail. They have bail bond. The bail masters will come and bail people out. Okay, you bail them and go, and for them to prepare for their case, they'll come to court and answer their trials, right? But you keep people incommunicado. That's what they call incommunicado. It means that you keep people for above their time that they have to be there. And when people are kept like that, the law stipulates that if you keep somebody in waiting trial for 3 years, 4 years, how do you keep somebody who is waiting for his trial for that long? And once that person is judged, you have to cut that 3 years on their sentencing, right? But La Republic does not do that. If you spend your time in waiting trial, it's wasted. All your time in awaiting trial time is wasted in the civil law system. In the common law system, your time is not wasted. It means that if you are kept, maybe you commit a very high type of crime, okay, like murder and all those kind of crimes, they will hardly give you bail in that kind of situation, right? There are certain situations, but when you are given that, some trial take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So that years, they'll cut it from your normal time of sentence. If they give you a 10-year sentence, they'll cut 4 years of your time that you spend while waiting trial. But La Republic does not do that. You are kept incommunicado. They don't care how many years you spend in waiting trial. If they give you a 10-year sentence, you have to go and spend another 10 years again. But that is the military court. Why do they try civilians in military court? It's a question that we have to ask. the Cameroon regime, the military regime, why they are the ill treatment of our prisoners of war. Okay, that is not fair for our prisoners. Okay, all the crimes that they commit on our people, we need to start seeing international sanctions. Anything that is not humanitarian in nature should not be allowed against the civilians. The humanitarian aid workers come to help. Okay, they should not be target. They should not be target. Any crimes against humanity that is done on non-combatants should be against the Geneva Convention of 1949. That law came in because they want to prevent another genocide from happening. But after the law was promulgated, we have seen Rwanda, we have seen all kinds of other genocide happening after the fact. But today we are seeing that happening in Ambazonia. The Ambazonian people have been killed. The Ambazonian people have been tried in military courts. The Ambazonian, and that is not their own law. First of all, most of Ambazonian people don't even understand French. They don't understand French. They'll try them in a French court, French tribunal, French judicial system. Everything is French. And you say they have a fair trial. First of all, it is illegal for you to go to somebody's country, Ambazonia, arrest people, and go and try in your own court. How fair is that? It is not fair, right? But that is what I wanted to talk today, because we have to start seeing sanctions. Sanctions on the people of La Republique government, the soldiers for their crimes against the people of Ambazonia. Sanctions, okay? And those sanctions need to start coming, right? We need to start seeing sanctions coming. But don't forget, the sanction that we are expecting can be political sanction. What type of political sanctions can they give? They can arrest some of these leaders, the La Republique ministers. They can arrest some of those perpetrators. Okay, defense minister like Betty Asomo of Cameroon government for sending his military, because most of the soldiers are taking command from the haute instruction. You know what I mean? That's what is ruling that country today, haute instruction, where order come from anybody that has a power. Okay, and it must not even come from somebody who is more high in profile. It can come from anybody that has a power to do it. They will sign it. Okay, but look at, if the Cameroon government cannot hold their people accountable, these corrupt officials, all these people who are, okay, those sanctions can come through that direction. How? They can target the bank accounts of these officials. That will be what we call financial sanctions. These government officials are swindling money. They are stealing a lot of money. Today, if you go to this government official's house, if I was one of those ministers there, that is what I would do. We'll go to each minister's house, do a proper search of that house, go to their bank accounts, because you cannot be swindling money. The government of La Republique is having financial difficulties today. Why? Because of corruption, mismanagement, misappropriation, all these kind of corrupt practices that have been going on along the years, unperturbed. All right, there is no audit, there is no checks and balances, there is excesses. When you spend without knowing your return on investment, or you do business without return of investment, how do you know your business? How do you know if your business is doing well? La Republic spend money on this crisis. You hear the audio, right, of that guy. The guy is saying it. The guy is saying it openly, saying that La Republic has spent so much money on the war, and the war is now like a burden on them. Okay, they are looking for exit strategy now to leave this war. How would they leave the war? It's not easy, right? Because the war, I told you people that this war in Ambazonia is also political war, because the government is using that as a means to stay in power. Okay, the government is using that as a means to stay in power. That is why you see today, you hear all those things happening, right? It is very terrible, right? But I want you to understand, our people are a very, very dedicated people. We will not tolerate any form of that happening. We have seen in the past where this military go and kill people, and they go scot-free. Nobody will judge them. But we have seen our people also raising up and saying, no, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Listen to this La Republic guy, okay, who is saying that they have had so much suffering, okay?
Que la guerre n'est pas bien. La guerre n'est pas bien. Voilà la crise anglophone qui a fini le budget du Cameroun. Voilà la crise anglophone qui a fini le budget du Cameroun. Au point que le gouvernement ne sait plus quoi faire. Il est obligé de prélever à chaque Camerounais 100 francs pour pouvoir maintenir la crise anglophone. Je vous ai dit l'affaire-ci. Hier, je me rappelle bien encore, quand je parlais de la crise anglophone, les gens m'ont dit en 2016, oh, le jure comme un fou. J'ai dit que de loin ou de proche, la crise anglophone devait toucher tous les Camerounais. Voilà ça, non? Vous croyez que c'est les faits divers? Ce n'est pas les faits divers. Le carburant est monté à 825. Vous croyez qu'un bout de pain serait combien? Un bout de pain va coûter combien? Parce que dans les normes, il faut que le gouvernement cherche l'argent de la crise anglophone. Si par jour on dépense 100 millions, il va prendre les 100 millions ou en 6 ans il en a dépensé. On a perdu combien de personnes?
You see,
on en a perdu.
These are things that are happening in La Republic today because of the war, right? We told them this war is too expensive. Don't declare war on an innocent people who are in their land. We don't care. In the next 10 years, we are there in our land. They are bringing their trucks, their armor car, and all those things. They are spending the money. Our people are there, we're just watching at them and laughing. We have our Monday Ghost Town. We have everything. They are spending the money. If they think that is good for them, good and fine. But the people of Ambazonia are there in their land. They are there. Okay, you come and do all those things. Our people are defending their land. This guy is complaining. I don't want to play all the audio. It's too long. But he's complaining. He told them that this crisis, this war that Biya declared on the people of Ambazonia, will cost a lot of money for the people of La Republic. You know how much they buy one of those armor cars? You know how much they spend money on this military? How do they feed them? How do they do all those things? That is the money that they have to spend on these people. And you know how the country is going down. They are crying. But you can do all that. Our people are very... this is an example of one when you touch sometimes you can do that, but our people rise up sometimes. Take a listen to this.
In a city known for protest against the government and violence, these images worry officials.
500!
Protesters took to the streets accusing a police officer of killing the 5-year-old after her mother refused to pay him a bribe. They carried her body to the governor's office. The latest violence underlines a tense situation in English-speaking Cameroon, where government forces are fighting separatists who want independence.
Very, very sad, because as a mother, I'm a mother of 2 kids. If you can get up in the morning, arrange your child, bath her, everything arrange, and you just go to your job site, you know your daughter is going to the school, and finally you get to this situation. It's too sad as a mother who has carried a child for her womb for 9 months and know how it's painful to grow up a child to this extent, and you just got to lose the child without eating the fruit of your labor. It's too painful.
In 2017, separatists from the Ambazonia movement declared independence from Cameroon, where more than 80% of the population is francophone. That led to a crackdown by security forces. The 4-year violence has claimed more than 3,500 lives and forced around 700,000 people from their homes. Desperate to stop the protests in the city of Buea from getting out of control, officials promised to investigate the shooting of the schoolgirl.
I want to assure you that those who did it, some are already under arrest. Are you listening to me? Because this child, it would have been your child, my child, an innocent child. He was going to school. I'm fighting here for children to go to school. But how is it that a child on his way to school is killed? So it is a shock.
So you see, these are the people. When a crime is committed, they will rush to but they know it's their military that is committing those crimes. All right, they know very well that their military is the one committing the crime. But when they do that, they will come now and pretend as if it's someone else who is committing the crimes. Okay, but I want the UN, the United Nations, the AU to step up their game, because it's high time we start talking about sanctions. Because without sanction, all these, we want the International Criminal Court, the ICC, to step up. Okay, the Geneva Court should also step up, because those sanctions are not enough. The one that the United States gave on La Republique, the trade sanctions, we have seen trade sanctions. We also need military sanction, where France is still supplying weapons. We are calling on the international community to check on that, because when it comes to this level, we have to start looking at all those sanctions. Economic sanctions should follow. The only economic sanction that was given was to remove Cameroon from AGOA, the Africa-American Free Trade Agreement. But we are hoping that the other organizations will also follow suit, okay? Because those sanctions can help La Republique drag them to the negotiation table, okay? And we can see how to prevent all these crimes against our people. We have seen all the crimes committed by La Republique, that we hope these killings, taking of hostages, and killing of innocent civilians, killing of this genocide, all these are war crimes, okay? And the ill treatment of prisoners of war, all these are war crimes that we have to step up, okay, to give sanctions on La Republique for these crimes against humanity and other war crimes, okay? And that will be it for today. Thank you for watching. We're gonna be bringing up other issues in our next episode, and we're gonna make sure that we try and push La Republique to go to negotiation table, irrespective of whatever happens. Okay, thank you for watching. God bless you. God bless Ambazonia. God bless the world.